There's a lot of confusion around how to go about dealing with the consumer proposal, even when you're in one, what route you should take, and even before you take on a consumer proposal, if you should actually do the consumer proposal. So I just always want to bring clarity to dealing with the consumer proposal and if it's the right choice for you. One of the most common things that I hear when I talk to someone that's considering a consumer proposal is that they'll say, I can't afford to pay my current debt. So, what I'm going to do is sign up for a consumer proposal. But what they fail to realize is that a consumer proposal in the long run is going to cost you more than if you were organized and able to repay the debt yourself. So many people miss out on this opportunity. Not only is it going to save you more if you were to repay it yourself, save you more money with your actual dollars, but also save you more money with your time. Because a consumer proposal can be a long process. And I believe most individuals can get themselves out of the debt that they're currently in. Now, there are situations where a consumer proposal makes sense, but it should be the last option. Okay. If it does make sense for you, then I would say do it. But in most situations, I don't think it's a realistic thing. So if after you watch this video and you listen to everything I said, if you feel like you should still move forward with the consumer proposal, then I wish you nothing but the best of luck. Okay. So for the people that say, it is cheaper or I can't afford to pay my current debt. So I'm going to do a consumer proposal. Understand just because you sign off on a consumer proposal doesn't mean that your debt is gone. Okay, the debt is still there. You're still paying money monthly. What's happening is that that trustee is allocating all of the debt, and sometimes they're able to get you a discount on the debt. Maybe they're able to get like a 30% discount on the debt, whatever it may be. But they're allocating all of that debt into one location, and you're paying towards that. Okay, you're paying towards that debt, and you're paying over an extended amount of time. You're paying 3 to 5 years. On average, I'm seeing people sign up for a 5 year plan. And again, if it's a 3 year plan, it's because the debt is extremely small and they can afford to make those monthly payments. But you're signing up for this 5 year repayment plan. And people don't run the numbers. In most situations, if they were to create a budget and snowball debt, the debt themselves, they would get done faster than 5 years. But here's what you don't know, or here's what you're not aware of. After you complete the 5 years of that consumer proposal, you still need to wait an additional 3 years for that proposal to age off of your credit report. And in that time, the 5 years where you're paying off the consumer proposal and the 3 years that you still need to wait while you're discharged for that proposal to age off and all the accounts that were included into it to age off, you're not able to get funding, you're not able to get credit, you're not able to improve your credit, and you can forget about applying for any credit card, applying for a mortgage, applying for an auto loan. You can forget about it. Okay? That's 5 plus 3 that you are committing yourself to. And then a lot of people will say, well, it ages off in 6 years. It ages off in 7 years. You are misunderstanding this. People will go to ChatGPT, they go to Google, and because they don't understand how these things work, they read into things and they take it out of context. Let's talk about that 6 or 7 years that you may be referring to. What that is 6 to 7 years after the last date of payment. So if you're 2 years into your agreement and you fail on making the payments, and you default on your consumer proposal, that's 6 to 7 years from that last date of payment. So it's not like it's not. People think that, oh, I'll pay for the 5 years. I'll be on the 5 year payment plan. I'll pay for 5 years, and I only need to wait one. No, once you're discharged, it's automatically 3 years that you're committed to. You're committed to that time. And the problem is, people just go to Google, they go to ChatGPT, and they trust these. They misread. I won't say trust, because what you're reading is correct information, but they don't understand how to understand the information. So when I see 6 to 7 years from the last date of payment, I understand I understand that that is the last time you made a payment, you have to wait 6 to 7 years. But most people will see that and assume that, oh, I just need to have the account for 6 to 7 years. No, it's 6 to 7 years from the last time you made a payment, from when that account defaulted, from when you were not able to pay it. And reality check for most of you out there, most people fail on their consumer proposals. Most people don't even complete it. I get so many people that send me messages saying, hey, I wasn't able to complete the consumer proposal. And guess what I'm going to tell you? You need to speak with your trustee. And then they continue to get upset with me. But the problem is, you signed for this agreement without fully understanding what it is. So, how can I help you when you sign one of the most difficult contracts to get out of? You sign one of the most hardest contracts to get out of, and then you pass that anger on to someone else. Okay. So, when you sign off on a consumer proposal, you are stuck. You are stuck. So if you failed on that proposal, the best thing you can do is go back to that trustee and hope and pray that they will allow you to reinstate that proposal to complete it and finish it out. Now, on the other side, you could take ownership of your decisions, of your past decisions, create a budget and snowball debt this thing out. You actually get more money by snowball debting the debt out. So let's talk about this just for a second. Okay? Let's talk about this just for a second. When you are in a when you are in a proposal, you're paying it out the same amount every single month. Okay? When you snowball did it, let's say I have 5 different credit cards. And let's say I have a Capital One credit card that the debt is $1,000 and the monthly fees on it is 10%, let's say $100 a month. As soon as I pay that credit card off, and maybe I pay it off faster, that's $100 that I get to add back to my cash flow. And as I chip away at each one of these debts, I'm adding more capital back to my cash flow. So I'm actually getting wealthier by doing snowball debt method versus when I am doing a consumer proposal. Okay. So with that consumer proposal, the best thing for you to do is just to pay it off as quickly as possible. If you're on a 5-year repayment term, then try to pay it off in 2 years. But understand, as soon as you pay it off, you're still stuck for the after 3 years, after your discharge, you still have those 3 years you're locked in, you need to wait. But with a snowball debt method, the best thing you can do is save yourself before they close the account and write it off as a tax write-off. Okay? You could actually, with the snowball debt method, you could actually save your relationship with your bank. It is extremely hard. Let's say someone owed you money. Let's say someone owed you money and they did not pay you back. And you just said, you know what? I'm just going to let it go. I'm going to just let it go. I'm going to be a good friend. I'll let it go. I know they won't pay me back. What do you think are the odds that they come back to you and you lend them money again? Right? That is the same perspective that we're dealing with these banks. You default on one of their credit cards. Do you think you're going to be able to come back as easily to get another credit card from that bank? The truth or the answer is no. You have to protect these relationships. So and I've seen clients in these situations, even if you're struggling to make the payments, but as long as you're making the payment, that bank is going to be more than flexible to try to continue that relationship. But you need to have a plan. If you're going to be successful in getting out of debt, you need to have a plan, and that is that budget. You need to have a budget. The app that I use, the platform that I use is Dave Ramsey's Every Dollar Budgeting app. This is not new information. You don't have to use spreadsheets. There's so many free platforms out there for you to create a budget. Think about doing this before you go into a consumer proposal. And newsflash, a consumer proposal is a soft bankruptcy. It is a soft bankruptcy. Banks do not, if you go, you can go to CIBC and you don't have to go all the way through the application. I actually encourage you don't. But if you go through one of the applications to apply for a credit card, they will ask you, have you been in a bankruptcy recently? And when you have a proposal, that is a bankruptcy. Okay? Even after you've completed it. A lot of times they'll say, have you had a bankruptcy in the past 7 years? Even if you've been discharged, you had that bankruptcy in the past 7 years, right? So people don't think about these things. So really understand what you're signing up for before you sign off on that proposal. Now, if you're in a position to where you have collection accounts and you're having a hard time rebuilding your credit and you just want some advice, send us an email. Me and my team will be more than happy to assist, more than happy to help. We only work with Canadians, and we have clients in every province. You can email us info@kennyjohnsonuniversity.com, and we will be more than happy to help. And until next time, peace.